We're at the Fountain of Life this morning for the Christmas party. There's lots of celebrations going on, and we're going to take a look around and speak to some of the people involved with the Fountain of Life. I'm now speaking to Sister Joan, and she's going to tell us a little bit about today's event. Hello, Sister Joan, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you, and I'm very happy about today because it's the Christmas party for the children, and we want this to be a very special occasion for the children. We celebrate the birth of Jesus, who came into our world to teach us how to create and sustain a society of peace and happiness. And this is what we try to teach to the children. And of course, we need support to do this. So we have many good supporters in Pattaya. The Jesters and their many friends, Pattaya International Ladies Club and their many friends, Pool Golf Tournament, and many others. And we also network with the other organizations. So if you look around today, you will see there are children from many other organizations as well.
I've already seen the children from the Mercy Centre. They're around in their red shirts.
That's right. And there are others from Father Ray Foundation, Hand to Hand, another foundation from
Hand to Hand's a fairly new organisation, is it?
It's fairly new, yes.
Okay, and I believe Margaret Granger is in charge of that one?
That's right, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And whereabouts is she? Is she in Duck Square?
Oh, you know, I don't even know the name of the place.
Okay, yeah. Hand to Hand's in Duck Square in South Pattaya.
And I plan to visit it over the Christmas time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joan, it's lovely to see you, and thank you very much for talking to us on Pattaya Mail TV. Thank you. I'm now speaking to Woody from the Jesters Motorcycle Club. Good morning, Woody.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. They're having a very lively party here today.
Yeah, ain't it wonderful?
Yeah, the children are having a great time and the adults as well.
Yeah. We love this time of year.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Jesters play a big part in the Fountain of Life.
Yes.
I don't know what they do, so I'm going to let you explain to our audience the Jesters' involvement.
Well, the Jesters, this is our target charity. The whole reason we came into existence, Jesters Care for Kids, is because the Fountain of Life was to help them. And simply because they get documentation for the kids, they take daycare where they orientate them for school, and then ultimately scholarships. Okay. We've been with them for 14 years now.
Okay, so the Fountain of Life is nothing like an orphanage or anything like that, is it?
It's not an orphanage. A lot of people think it is. It's more a daycare center. They can actually go and pick up the kids and bring them here, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon take them back.
Right. And what I also understand is a lot of the children that come here don't have the correct paperwork, like birth certificates and so on.
Right. Well, that's what I meant by documentation.
Yeah.
All the people, marginalized people of Pattaya know that they can get a birth certificate here, because what the Fountain of Life does, they actually go to the village of the given child and look for a relative or a friend, and they're able to get a document from that.
Okay, and by doing that, because beforehand these children are unable to attend the government schools.
Exactly.
And once they get the certificates, the documentation, they can then get in the system.
Exactly. You need a birth certificate to go to school.
Okay.
You also need an address too. And what the kids use the Fountain of Life is their address.
Okay.
And again, scholarships that makes it all happen. So they can go to school.
Because we all take it for granted that we all have birth certificates, we have the details, but these children don't.
A lot of kids are born outside of hospitals.
Right.
That's yeah.
Okay, well, it's an absolutely fabulous foundation, and the work that you, the Jesters and the Fountain of Life are doing is really an important part of building Patia.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
We're glad to be associated with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Jesters. Thank you. Okay, I've now got the opportunity to speak to Reg Warner of Pat and Reg Warner fame. Hi, Reg.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm great. Reg, you and your wife Pat play a big part in the Fountain of Life. Tell me, what do you do to help them?
Well, first of all, it's kind of you to say so, but our contribution is quite small, measured against the immense amount of effort by so many others. The Roman Catholic nuns, led by Sister Joan, and the Thai Catholic nuns, of course. There are many, many helpers and supporters, including the Patia Male, of course, and the Jesters in particular, led ably by Woody. When we first came to Thailand some 23 years ago, we fell in love with the place, and we've been back every year since, and we've now graduated to staying here 4 months every year. My wife is particularly involved, comes up here frequently to try and help in many ways. We've enjoyed Thailand, the Thai people, and everything Thailand has to offer, the food, the fauna, the flora, the smiles, of course, and the wonderful gentle nature of the Thai people.
Okay, Reg, I'll just interrupt you quickly. You say that your wife Pat comes up here to help. Is it open for people who don't know about the Fountain of Life? Is it open for newcomers to come in and help in some way?
Very, very, very much so. As indeed the PILC, the Patia International Ladies Club, do an enormous amount of work up here as well. They must also be commended. The opportunities of helping are immense. There is a children's charity fair, and they produce a brochure every year. Within the brochure, there are innumerable ways of helping. If you go on the internet and Google Gesture Care for Kids, you'll see innumerable ways you can help, which can be extremely modest or less modest, as is your choice. But I think what first happened to us is that you can't help but notice there are a lot of people here that are disadvantaged, particularly children. And when we first heard about the Fountain of Life via the Jesters, we were a little bit sceptical. Is this yet another charity verging on a scam, etc.? So we quizzed Woody quite ferociously as to what they did, how they did it, why they did it, etc. We came away very convinced that this is, if we wanted to help, which we did, this was the perfect vehicle for doing it. These guys work tremendously hard, give an immense amount of their time and effort and skills to raise money for many projects, but I think undoubtedly their number one charity is here, the Fountain of Life. Now, we were also impressed by the fact that if they had expenses, from what I could gather, they came out their back pockets. So every baht contributed is spent usefully and properly, and they produce accounts every year which are published in the Pattaya Mail amongst other places, which show where every single baht has gone. So we were thrilled to have an opportunity of placing some money where we knew it would be used perfectly, honourably, usefully, and you only have to come up here, which incidentally people can do any day, Monday to Friday. Meet Sister Joan or any of the other sisters, they will show you around. And you guys, the Pattaya Mail, produced a DVD some time ago which was compared by Mike Franklin, who many people will remember fondly. It was an impromptu visit. It shows a day at the Fountain of Life. I think you can get it on YouTube.
What was that one called? A Day in the Life of the Fountain of Life.
Day at the Fountain of Life, produced by the Pattaya Mail.
Right.
And it explains far better than I can exactly what they do. Very briefly, the buses go out to the slums in the morning. They pick up the kids who are usually waiting quite eagerly. My granddaughter tells me, because she came to work here a couple of weeks last year. They come here, they wash. I'm not quite sure of the order of things, but they have breakfast, they sing the Thai anthem, they have breakfast, they have lessons, the monks come to see them, they have lunch, they have a nap in the afternoon, you see them cleaning up, incredibly well behaved, immensely appreciative of everything that's done for them. They get pro bono tooth care at Pattaya Bangkok Hospital. Doctors come to see them, and if any of them are being molested in any shape or form, the sisters here are onto it very quickly. They liaise with the police, who now take child abuse extremely seriously. They have a division that deals with it quite dramatically, and as you can see, there's many of them here today from the police representing that particular department.
Reg, it's been fantastic talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could do a whole new program explaining more and more about this. Reg, you mentioned the internet, and with all the modern technology, Facebook is a regular way of finding out about events.
Very much so.
And the reason that I first found out about this event was I put Jesters as a Facebook friend, and all the events they're doing come up, and I get plenty of advance warning about them. Have you used Facebook at all?
I do, but to a very limited extent. I have to say it's not my favourite subject. But you're absolutely right. The Jesters are there, and it's a good medium for finding out and keeping in touch with what they're doing and what's going on. But I repeat, for all these expats living here, if you don't know about this place, I hope some of you will come up and have a look, meet Sister Joan. She is a living saint, if I say so myself, and she'll be delighted to show you around, as will any of the other sisters, and you cannot fail to be impressed.
Okay, some people have some little discrepancies regarding it being a Christian organisation when we are in a predominantly Buddhist country. How are the boundaries crossed?
Well, I'm not necessarily a complete expert on the subject, but my understanding is that they're not teaching the Catholic religion as a priority. In fact, I don't believe they teach it at all, other than the good values and virtues that are associated with it. I do know the monks come up here and talk to the children quite regularly. So this is very much Thailand, Thai people, and there's no attempt to influence them in other directions that I'm aware of.
That's great, Reg.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Sure.
Paul Strachan, your predecessor, has done a tremendous job, as have the Pattaya Mail, because I'm well aware of, obviously you're running a business, but you should be proud of the tremendous amount of charity work and support work that you do, such as you're doing today, so well done to you all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ciao.
now speaking to Mike Pence, who's the English-speaking MC for today. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Joe. Good to see you again.
Okay, yeah. MCing the event. Tell me a little bit. What are you doing?
You know, basically what I'm doing is we have the girls from the center that do all the Thai speaking, and for our foreign guests, I'm translating what they say into English. Basically welcoming everybody here and announcing the different performances by the students.
Okay, I've seen a number of different performances already. Can you tell me a few of the ones that have been on?
We did the Christmas show, which was the first one about the birth of Jesus. That was done by the students here at Fountain of Life. The one following that one was the dance for respect for the teachers, and just a different number one showing we have a dance coming up which acknowledges and gives respect to the Queen. Just different things as the students learn here throughout the year.
Okay, I also spotted the Mercy Centre here. They were doing a performance.
Yes, we have the Mercy Center here. They bring their children here. We have Hand to Hand. They also bring their children here. We have a couple organizations out of Rayong. And it's all for taking care of the kids that just, you know, are poor here in Thailand and need some help.
Okay, I also saw some ladies that were a little bit above child age. Who were they?
Now those are the ladies from the Women's Center. Fountain of Life also has a Women's Center in Naklua, which helps the older women with any struggles they may be going through.
Okay, Mike, that's brilliant. Thank you for speaking to Pattaya Mail TV.
Thank you, Joe. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're at the Fountain of Life today. I'm just going to wrap it up here. We've had a great time. I've had the chance to talk to Reg Warner, to Woody from the Jesters, to Sister Joan and to Mike Pence, all explaining to you a little bit more about the Fountain of Life. If you have the opportunity, come down and see them and see what they're doing to help the youngsters who really have trouble getting on and getting a start in life. The Fountain of Life, helping the youth of Pattaya.